Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, I think we should all go ahead and, for those that's gonna celebrate about it, or those that's gonna be upset about it, or whatever, that thing we call a sport in boxing, all right? The biggest fight that we keep saying is the biggest fight, right? For me, I told you it was Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, but for most, because I was pessimistic in the beginning, that was the Terence Crawford fight versus Errol Spence, right? And since the beginning, I was able to tell you, like I always am, because when you're grown and you don't have a horse in a race and you're just looking at it as a sport, you know what's going on. I'm just like I told you, the Orlando Magic in basketball, when they had 6 wins, I said, be careful. That's the best, worst team I've ever seen. This is going to be a young team. People in Orlando, y'all going to be happy with this team soon. Then they ran off about 6 in a row. I've told you a lot of things, but that was just one of the things. It's going to hit me again. No, I told you Canelo Alvarez, about a year and a half, he was going to fight John Ryder, right? Right after John Ryder beat Daniel Jacobs, right? Told you it's going to be John Ryder. That's why they let him beat Daniel Jacobs, no matter what, because that's the only one that Canelo could fight around those divisions, right? So those things, you just see that. And when it came to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, from the beginning, I was like, that's not going to happen. I don't like Errol Spence's, his attitude towards this. Right? I just, didn't like it, didn't sit well with me. It reminded me of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, how Anthony Joshua was acting at the time. And it's just not nothing against Errol Spence because I like him. The problem is, like, you have a guy coming to your division, a smaller guy. I just simply think, and I still do, Errol Spence should be doing the chasing here. I keep saying that. It's very simple. A smaller guy coming to your division, right, with accolades, you want to wipe his little small skinny self out. That's what somebody's going to want to do. Then I didn't like the fact that, Errol Spence had 2 belts. Dana Ugas came out just after beating Pacquiao, right? I was thinking, why did the boxing community want Terence Crawford to fight Ugas? So he can have 2 belts, so when we do get to negotiations, we don't have any issues, right? But we got issues in negotiations. It is what it is, right? But I'm telling you before, like I said before, Errol Spence should be doing the chasing here. Now, all of the things we've been saying about Terence Crawford all the time, he needs to get away from Top Rank. Top Rank's not making no money with him, and then there are other people on across the other side of the street. I've told you about that. I've been watching boxing too long. The side of the street is nothing more than an excuse. Nothing more. And I give you the example again that I always like to give you. When Demetrius Andrade was at the zone, right? And he was at the zone so he can fight Canelo Alvarez, who was at the zone, right? Gennady Golovkin, who was at the zone, and his mandatory, Jaime Munguia, at the zone. And when I'm gonna go back to Canelo too, make sure I'm at the zone, and they offered Canelo $40 million to fight him, Demetrius Andrade, for undisputed. But what do they do after Demetrius Andrade's fights? They start calling Charlo. What side of the street is Charlo on? On the other side. It's all about who the hell you want to fight. And so bottom line, so now I'm telling you guys this. Terence Crawford in negotiations, he has to go over there and let somebody, I told you, on this whole planet, I don't care. If I was Terence Crawford, nobody can call me up and offer me less than 50%. Because you ain't better than me. And you know it. I don't give a damn what some pay-per-views say. We seem to want to worry about numbers, right? But the number that I would be worried about if I was Errol Spence is number 1. You have somebody that's number 1, pound for pound, in your division begging to fight you. That is not supposed to be happening to somebody who's dominating a division. Period. All the other things. And now, they offered the man 35%, which was absurd, in my opinion. I would have just left. 35, right? Then they said no guarantee, right? You don't get no guarantees, so nothing up front. Then they said, and you can't look in the books. I mean, if you don't get the hell out of me. What did you call me? I hope Terence Crawford didn't travel nowhere to hear nothing like that. Call me on the phone and tell me something like that so I ain't wasting my damn time coming around. There's damn Errol Spence for that kind of crap, right? That's just ridiculous, and we all know it. It's just I don't know why people on the payroll that don't think like that. You're on the payroll. There's no way you can think like that with normal thinking. Errol Spence is supposed to be wanting to beat this little old dude's ass, right? That's what's supposed to be happening. Now, because Terence Crawford leaves that promoter, right? Gets his biggest payday, knocks somebody the hell out, and is ready to negotiate. And now they're talking about, hey, the numbers from yesterday ain't the same numbers as they gonna be today. Meaning, Terence Crawford ain't gonna be worth less than 35% for somebody on this planet, a humanoid. That's ridiculous. So what is that telling you? That fight ain't happening. Just like Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder ain't happening. Just like Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade ain't happening, right? And I'm gonna tell you, quiet as kept. Y'all keep messing around. I don't know if Devin Haney and Lomachenko gonna happen, right? Shakur Stevenson can't get no fight with nobody. They go right down the line. Isaac Cruz, right? Anybody saying anything to him for avoiding Shakur Stevenson? Nope. Anybody say anything to Zabeda for avoiding? Nope. Anybody ever said anything to Jaime Munguia for not fighting when he was the mandatory for Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo? Nope. They move on to the next one, and then they start telling little guys, you know what they're telling Shakur Stevenson? He just moved up from 130 to 135. They're telling him to move up to 147. Skip 140. Go up to 147 and fight the monsters. Instead of Isaac Cruz was scared. Willie Sepulveda was scared. I'm not going to say Kambosos was, because Kambosos just came out of 2 hard fights. He didn't have to. And I was wrong about that, by the way. I said that Kambosos is going to be the one that's going to probably do this. I was wrong about that. Let me remind you, so when I get something wrong, I'm wrong. But Kambosos basically didn't have to. So this is just normal. Bottom line, what I want to hear from Errol Spence and his team is, dude, get your little skinny ass over here and I'm going to whoop your butt. You can have damn 50% because it's very important to me to be the #1 pound for pound so I can finally be #1 pound for pound, even though I've been in one division. That's the shortcut to getting pound to pound. No one is caring about that, right? This is Terence Crawford. This is not just anybody coming up. This is a #1 pound for pound and someone who's been undisputed and trying to get into an undisputed fight. How the hell are we going to lowball that? Tell you how. Well, I ain't got to tell you how. You've seen it. So Terence Crawford ain't even worth 35%. That's where we are now. Some of y'all probably even like that. Now, don't you? Tell the truth. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.